This is a very simple guide on how to use the AITPM subcommittee discussion forums. I've set up a sample one here so that I can show you how it works. But the basic premise is that one of these discussion forums will be set up for every new subcommittee of the board, each with their own individual email address. So you can see here, this one is called AITPM-IT@googlegroups.com. This means in its simplest form that you can send an email to that email address and it will go to every single person that is part of that group and only those people. This will come directly into your inbox and can also be found in this forum here, which you will receive a link to. You can then reply to every single person within that group, just replying to that email address. So it's a really easy way of not having to create contact groups, missing someone, thinking about who's in the group every time. This will just do a broadcast message to everybody in the group and everyone is part of the conversation. Now you can do this directly from your inbox, whatever mail program you use. You can literally go to AITPM, can't type, at IT@googlegroups.com. This is my test message for recording. I like to repeat myself clearly. I can add an attachment. So let's go to, here's a conference receipt from someone, and I can send it. This will send straight away and will be received by every single person within that group. Now, you can then reply to everybody automatically by sending a reply to them. It will also appear within this discussion forum. It can take a few minutes to actually reach the discussion forum, but normally it sends quite quickly within the actual inboxes themselves. So that's the easiest way to start a message directly from your inbox. You can also start one from in here. So you can log into Google Groups, which is literally just going to groups.google.com. And once you're logged in, you will see the link to any of the groups that you are a part of. So I can see here my recently viewed groups, some of the test ones that we've set up, and you can even make them a favorite. And then it sits here in your favorites. So if I want to start one within the group, I simply go to New Topic and do, this is another new topic. This one was started in the forum page. The good thing about starting an email or replying to one of the emails from within here is that you can tag it. So each subcommittee chair will set up their own tagging protocol because we don't want too many tags. But you can see here in some of the testing, some of the subjects that we've tagged the conversations in. So this one here, let's call, this is going to be about the forum. So that later on, we can look back and find any of the email conversations that related to the forum. We can set any number of tags. So I can then go training. I'll tag this one as training as well. So I'm literally just pressing enter to get that to appear there. What's really important, so the reason for these groups being set up is so that we can catalog and track decisions and particularly resolutions. So every time a decision is made, so we have a discussion and then a decision, is that this post should then be tagged with resolution. Because then later on, we can look back and find where the decisions were made. So if I go to post, okay, so my other one has come in, the one I sent from my inbox. This is my test message for recording. I can see the attachment. I can also see the one that I started here. This is another new topic. And you can see over here that it's tagged with the words that I wanted to be referenced. You can see further down here, there are other tags. So later on, if I say, oh, I want to bring up everything, all resolutions that have been made within this group, I can go up here to tags, and I can type the tag in here, or I can click on one of these. I want to bring up anyone that is tagged with resolution. So I can see here too, oh, this is when we made the resolution on the forum. And this is when we made the resolution on Andrew. That sounds a bit ominous. I'm not sure what the resolution was. So that's a really easy way to look back. If there's ever any disputes about a decision being made, it can be quite clearly referenced in here. Say, no, it's in the group, was marked as a resolution. You were part of that conversation. You had your opportunity for comment, or you agreed, or we noted your disagreements, but this was resolved in this way. So that's the purpose of these forums, is to make sure that we can track all decisions made and all historical conversations, because the membership of these groups will change over time according to board appointments and committee appointments. So we need to make sure we've got this historical data rather than being on people's personal email. So that's the logic behind this, but it has the ease of sitting here in your inbox. So you can see I've received this one. This is another new topic. And I've received, this is my test message for recording. And I can reply to any of them directly through there, or I can go straight to, following this link, I can go straight to the discussion group and add to the discussion there. Waiting for the internet to catch up. So this takes me straight to that message, and then I can go straight to the home page to tag it. So the main difference when you are viewing the messages here versus in your inbox is that you can tag them. You can't tag them in your inbox. But you can be tagged later on. To say this one hasn't got a tag, to say the discussion has just batted backwards and forwards through people's inboxes, but the chair decides that, yeah, this has now reached resolution. They can go into here. Because they're not starting it, the tag's no longer down the bottom, but they can add tags. They can click on one, or they can type a new one. Here goes, that's now reached a resolution, and can tag it retrospectively. So that one now has the tag there. When it comes to managing the inbox and the content, this can actually only be done by the moderator, which in the initial instance will be just the chair. It may be that they appoint others to help moderate. So once a discussion, if it doesn't need to be recorded, so I won't remove one that we've said resolution, but this one here, for example, decided that, okay, there's nothing in this that really needs to be kept. And then we're going to go to actions and delete. Don't think it applies to any of those, but we just want to delete the message. That one has now gone. If you delete the message from your inbox, it does not delete it. I'm going to delete that one and delete that one. It does not delete it from in here. So this is the other really good way. You don't have to manage it and file it and hold it in your inbox. It will all be stored here, and it will only be removed from this discussion when removed by the moderator of the group. So that's really simple. A few extended things you can do with the messages, clicking on there. You can actually assign them to people. So I can assign that one to Andrew, so that he knows that he's the one that's got to drive that. So if things aren't really being driven or they're not gaining momentum, you might like to assign it to someone. Here, I can go, oh, this one's me. I'll own this one. I'm going to take responsibility for this topic and go away and work on it. So again, later on, you can actually go and filter all of these and actually work to, okay, have there any been assigned to me? Crikey, was I supposed to have done something? So I can go into filters, and I can filter it down to say, okay, I want to find all the ones that are assigned to me, and apply the selected filters. Oh, that was one that I was supposed to do with. So that's the one I went in just now and claimed. But I also can have a look and say, I want to see all the ones that have been assigned to someone other than me. And look, this is the one that we assigned to Andrew. Okay, so it's just another way of tracking activity and tracking resolutions there. You can also have a look and go, it's an easier way to sort some of the messages in there. As another part of this is document storage. So as we said, you can attach anything here. You can view it and download it from here, and it will stay here. But again, that's not a particularly helpful way for finding documentation later on. So all important documentation for the group and all decisions should also be put into the Google Drive relating to that committee. So every subcommittee, this is the sample one here, has its own Google Drive folder, and the link will always live here within the forum so that you can get straight to it And here are the documents relating to that. If I want to add to it, I simply go over here to New, File Upload. Use that same invoice, which is actually already did in the test earlier on. And it will appear in there as a duplicate of that one. Over time, management for this will again probably fall initially to the chair to keep this organized, create subfolders, whatever needs be. But the chair may designate that task to another member of the committee. But everybody in the committee has access to this. You will only have access to the folder of which you are a subcommittee. So above this, the hierarchy above this, is there are different folders for every different subcommittee. But you will only be able to access those that you are a part of. So if I flick back to the discussion group, so the link for that, you can obviously save it, you can bookmark it, do whatever you want to do to save the link to there. But in case you forget it, it's always sitting here inside the Google Groups. To get to the Google Groups to start with, you will receive this in your instructions, but simply go into groups.google.com. I'll wait for the internet. I'm going to go into My Groups. And it's going to list my status in here as well. I can then change my options here. You can leave this group, but obviously that is a protocol around the actual committee. So if you leave the group, you'll no longer be part of the committee discussions. We will, at a management level, control who is in the group and out of the group with every committee appointment or resignation. So Karen will actually be a part of every one of the groups, just to make sure that they are being actively used. So if a group isn't posting anything in their forum, then they're clearly having the discussions offline, which is against the directive. So we do need to make sure that the groups are being used. Karen will help moderate and manage any queries in there. The moderator can manage the members as well. Most of you won't see this manage one here, and you won't have the option to delete unless you are made a moderator. It's as simple as that. You will receive a PDF summary of this, which just takes you through. So if you forget, if you haven't used it for a while, this has all of the summary here, all of the links, so you might want to save this on file. You will also receive a copy of this video because you're watching it, so that can be saved for future reference as well. Any queries, please contact me, Jacqueline, web@aitpm.com.au or 0412 255 587. Thank you very much.